Right, we should be on it now. The new season, just going to run through some general stuff for Nhrl, with Thursday racing for our second division. Still yet to be confirmed if we're having a new channel for that or not. We're still in a bit of a development process for that. Custom weather, in the way that everybody will be given sort of a few days notice to what the weather will be. What else to think? Experience, and pretty much any kind of assist is allowed apart from the pit assists. I haven't missed anything there, have you guys?
Yeah, that's fine for me.
All good. Alright, points for the two divisions, how that's going to play out. It's going to be bog standard stuff really. Division 1, 25 points for the win, all the way down to 10th place, getting 1 point. Normal F1 stuff really, and 1 point for the fastest lap. Division 2 will be the same thing, apart from the fastest lap this season will be 1 point, and pole position will be 2 points. So for Division 2 the points are going to be slightly reduced for the new season. Having a little bit of a rule update, not so much the rules themselves. I think anyone who does league racing, they know what they're doing anyway, so I'm not going to go into full detail about our specific rules, but the only thing that I will mention the change is post-race time penalties will now be a thing, because let's say if I'm not in a championship fight, I'll come to one race, I could probably wipe someone out. Under the current rules, I'll then have a quali ban for the next race, but it would mean that I still win an event, let's say. And yeah, I think that'll end up getting messy, so we're going to be a little bit more harsher when it comes to penalties. What I would say to everyone is still send your footage to us, even if you think you are at fault, maybe not, because it's all going to come down to helping us understand who was at fault. We don't want the wrong people getting penalised, but we can only work with the evidence that is presented to us. Yeah, time penalties will mainly be focused around the amount of damage that you get, not so much. If you are taken out, probably will be a quali ban, race ban at a most serious offence. We're also going to be bringing in a striking system as well. How that's going to work is we have our normal disciplinary procedure of reprimands. However, I think there are some times where I think a step further is needed. So what we're going to be doing with that is, for example, what happened at the start of Hungary for Division 1 in Season 3. The driver who caused that multi-car pileup, something like that would get you a strike. If you get 3, you're actually blacklisted from taking part in the league. I think with that it won't be too... You guys won't have to worry about it too much, because if you are going to get blacklisted, it will be for something. I think the only way you can do it is either a breach of mutual privacy, which we'll get onto in a bit, and deliberately taking somebody out. Next bit on the notes. Yep. We now have a 6-man admin team. We are all approachable. I'm working with these guys long enough now. We know what we're doing, and we work really well together. If the drivers feel that someone is abusing the power, not doing the job properly, please message one of us, because I want it to be a well-oiled machine kind of thing. So not really. I don't want anyone to be lagging or left. Think so we're not doing our job properly. Please raise it up. We will be cooperative. The new thing that I'm actually quite excited about for us in the new season is active relegation. The bottom 4 from Division 1 at the end of Season 4 will be relegated to Division 2 for the start of Season 5, and it will be the other way round for Division 2. The top 4 will be promoted to Division 1, and the champion for Division 2, they are exempt from one of the requirements to take part in Division 1. It's the time trial time for Kota, which I'll touch on in a bit as well. If for some reason the numbers don't really stick up properly, be it for Division 1 or Division 2, if we need a Div 2 driver in Division 1 for some reason, the promotion will have priority. So even if they end up in the relegation zone, as long as they're in the Division 2 promotion zone, they will be promoted. Right, moving on to the nearly missed something. Sorry, I've already covered that. Division priority. No, I'm not doing this really well, am I? Division 1 drivers, how it's going to work is anyone who has taken part with us before the end of Season 3, the championship winner has first pick on his car or her car, and they also have priority pick on their teammate. Division 2, they will be put into teams depending on the pace. We're still yet to see if this is going to work come the 2020 game cycle, because we're not actually sure yet. We're going to have to see how that plays out. But if it's, let's say we have a full grid for Division 2, if the fastest guy and the slowest guy are separated by a second, we'll be running realistic performance. If it's something like 5 seconds, then everyone will be put into equal cars. The calendar. Alright, this is the plan. We've got the earliest possible start date for racing will be August the 28th, and we plan to run all the way through until the 29th of January 2021. We do plan to do 2 runs on this game cycle now, so we probably won't have that long of a break. So no later than the start of February 2021. That will take us pretty much all the way into the late end of June 2021 for the end of Season 5. Exact dates for Season 5 are yet to be confirmed. But the sooner we get people in, the sooner we'll be able to push that start date. Financial...
Yeah, sorry,
go on.
I just want to come in and say, as what we were talking about before, about the whole admin team, and you know how we're all welcome to suggestions as well. If you have any suggestions about how we could be doing things, we will try and take those things into consideration. We won't get offended if something is said that maybe we don't like. We will always be here if anybody needs to talk to us about another driver or something like that, just with a quiet word.
Yeah, I mean, we're all approachable. We're not going to bite anyone's hand off for offering out a suggestion. I know that some league owners, from personal experience, pretty much rule their leagues with an iron fist. We're not like that. If anything, we welcome suggestions, not outright change, because we do have a plan, we have a structure for what we stand for. And one of the things that we do stand for is what I'll be getting into now. Nhrl has always been a prize-giving league. Me personally, I like to see people do well and the right people to get rewarded. We're at a point now where we're able to increase our backing. I've managed to get us a what's it? It's not outright sponsorship yet, but it is private backing, which is the kind of step above affiliation. So if things go wrong, our backer's name isn't tarnished in any way. A backing of £300 for season 4. There is an option open to extend the deal into the next season for season 5. What level of funding exactly that's going to be, I haven't even begun to discuss yet, but if things do go well, which I'm sure they will, we are looking at well over £1,000 worth of backing going into the 2020 game cycle. Nhrl is a non-profit organisation. I say that with quotation marks. So any money we get, we give it straight to the drivers. No one driver, admin, they are not in a position to have a financial gain out of this. Any money we make is handed down to the drivers. It just depends on where that money goes. With this extra backing, a lot of the prizes are expected to increase, and we're also going to be sending more money down into Division 2 to make it a little bit more worthwhile. Obviously, along with the financial backing with these guys, we do have to take our operations seriously. We can't have people not turning up, for starters, because we do have bonus objectives we can meet, additional funding if we are able to meet targets set by the backer. If anyone for any reason has any personal issues, family issues, you're not able to race for a prolonged period of time, or if you feel like you're not going to commit, just let us know as soon as possible. We're not just going to boot you out, it just helps us out, because then we can work around getting a reserve in, or we need to start recruitment up again possibly. But we're not going to bite anyone's head off for not being able to turn up. But we'll be more annoyed if you're not turning up and you're not telling us why. Further restrictions include, under the agreement, I cannot go into detail about what the bonus objectives are, because the level of financial backing associated with them, I don't want it to come across as the wrong way to some of the competitors. There will also be checking up almost on a weekly basis on our interactions socially, in a way that they'll be looking at the incidents chat, making sure we're doing our stewarding job properly, anything on the Discord, PlayStation messaging, making sure that no one's really causing any aggro, because if people are, we might have someone in a higher authority position than ourselves as an admin team. We may ask people to leave if they're not behaving themselves, which would be a change from last season. Because I don't think we didn't have that many problems socially. It was just one or two people that constantly moaning. Those arguments they can't happen. Otherwise, we'll have to let people go. Otherwise, it pains me to bring up old wounds again about this league, because the bad blood that has happened with us and that still sticks around. Anybody who is currently racing in the Speed Force Racing League will not be permitted to take part in the New Horizons Racing League, due to the nature of the incident that happened almost 2 seasons ago. It was handled personally badly from my opinion about the admin team, but until an acknowledgement of wrongdoing comes forward from that league, then we cannot have people racing in SFR in Nhrl. I have managed to come to a compromise for the drivers that were taking part with us in Season 3. If anyone on that roster at the end of the season, still races in Speed Force Racing League, they are allowed to take part. But no one else. If you're a newcomer, you've not raced with us before, if you race with the Speed Force Racing League, we cannot take you on. It's not even my decision at this point. This is taken higher than myself. What I'm a little bit more optimistic about, though, is the future of the league. It's going to be brilliant getting onto the 2020 game cycle. It'll give us more things to do. We're going to be a little bit more active in the community now. We're not a one-season thing now. We're going to be all quite busy.
Oh, God.
Our external projects, as I like to call it, we'll be running them on a Tuesday. No set date for these. It will kind of be whatever people want to do. If there's a demand to do it at the time, we'll be running 5 race, I say mini championships, but they will still be classified as Nhrl championships. The championships will include the IndyCar Championship, World Endurance Championship, British GT3, sports cars going around British tracks, and the World Rally Championship. World Rally Championship will be done on Dirt Rally 2.0, and everything I said before, British GT3, IndyCar, and the World Endurance Championship, that will be done on Project Cars 2. So if anyone is interested from that part of the community, please let us know, because we do plan to dish out trophies and prize money for that. Probably not as much as the F1 side, but it's better than nothing. Right, moving. I wanted to clarify what the mutual privacy agreement actually is. We've all got issues outside of racing, whether it be family, social, whatever. You can talk about that in your DMs as much as you like, but do not.
None of it can be brought into the league.
Yeah, do not bring these issues into the league. If you want to talk about it on a personal level, if anything's bothering you, like I said, talk to any of the admin team. But all of this information is kept in confidence with us, and any leaking of information, private information, will be from people's other social media, personal information. To our PlayStation chats, Discord, if you see any of it on the YouTube comment section, it's an instant blacklist. Not be taking part with us again if anything like that happens. Now, actually coincides with the Data Protection Act, the updated version, actually from 2018. And if need be, we can work with the necessary authorities if anything like people's home addresses are leaked, for example. We are in the power to do that. I hope not, but if need be, then we can do. Awards night title changes. Obviously, with the backing, we kind of have to please almost these. I don't want to say corporate, but it feels like it's a corporate backing. So we kind of need to go up now. It was a nice joke, a nice laugh with some of the awards, but for example, we did have the Dickhead of the Year award. That will be renamed to the most infamous driver for something. There will be a few ones in there, just so we're not taking the mick too much out of people. I mean, awards night is supposed to be a laugh anyway, but we don't want people to be outright offended.
I'm not getting any penalties, but you are.
Right. Moving on to what Nhrl is classified as. It is a free competition. Under the 2005 Gambling Act in the UK, you do not have to pay to take part in Nhrl, free to enter. This makes us exempt from any legal obligations under the UK law. Because I know there's leagues out there that, I don't know, might offer a £5 entry fee. That opens up an entirely new can of worms that we are not willing to be a part of. We play by our own rules, we set our own deadlines, we set our own targets.
Yeah.
And we also withhold the right to not give money, not give prizes to people. It's not so much if we're not feeling that they're worthy, but if anything happens, let's say in F1, a driver could win the championship 5 races before the end. If he then starts deliberately crashing people out, calling people all names under the sun, yes, they may statistically win the championship, but they'll be gone in a heartbeat, and they won't be eligible to claim anything from us because we're not under any obligation to provide such things. New awards, like I said, we are expanding the prize range into Division 2 as well. That there will be prize money up for grabs from 1st, 2nd and 3rd. The Division 2 champion will now also receive a trophy, and if the funds are actually sufficient throughout Season 4, I may be able to backtrack and get trophies sent out to our current Division 2 champions. In terms of Division 1, there's going to be a hell of a lot of backing. I know that I can confirm that the champion for Division 1 will get a engraved driver's trophy, £100 worth of PlayStation Network voucher, and a 1-year PlayStation Plus pass. I've also managed to sort out business banking details, so now we can send the cash prizes worldwide, but you must be over 18 if you are outside of the UK to receive that funding. Otherwise, legally I can't send money abroad to people who are under the age of 18. Same thing goes to the people in the UK. You can get the money if you are over the age of 13. Anyone under the age of that, we're not going to be sending money to minors, because for example, I don't like the idea of a 5-year-old potentially being a champion shouting to his parents that, look, I've won all this money. I think that's a bit bad. So any money that is left over, we will still be doing the charity events, charity nights at the end of every season, whether it be £10, 100, whatever. We'll still dish it out to a charity of the winner's choice. Last season we ended up sending £100 to the WWF to help with the koalas because of the Australian bushfires. That was an eventful night, to say the least. We do have a new Discord. The old Discord moderator decided to have a hissy fit and he deleted it. We've started up a new one. As soon as the broadcast is over, I'll be leaving a link to the new Discord in the description, and it will also be on the Twitter page at Nhrl Official. And that's pretty much it. As of today, the driver sign-ups are open. If you do want to take part, please let us know. Like I said, there are spaces available in Div 1 and Div 2 as long as your pace meets the requirements. Every new driver as well is subject to testing. There are a few drivers from before that will need retesting because some people's driving in other leagues and toward the end of Season 3 was not ideal. Don't want to name too many people, but luckily they are in the single digits. Have you guys got anything else to say?
Not really. Oh, yes. If you didn't know this already, if you are a Division 2 champion, you will not be able to return to Division 2 after you've won it.
Yeah.
In the following seasons.
Yeah, the whole thing with Division 2, it is supposed to be our feeder series. If you're not confident, you don't think you can race with the quick guys, you just want to have a little bit of fun. I mean, especially the penalty procedure for Division 1 is going to be harsh, where we're going to be a little bit more lenient in Division 2. You want to race there, have a bit of fun, then that'll be the place for you to go. But if you do win the championship, to keep it fair and open almost all the time, the Division 2 champion will not be able to return to the series. And if you do get promoted to Division 1 and you end up in a relegation zone, you will lose your seat and you'll have to reapply. You'll have to reapply in the sense of racecraft, you may need testing again for the next season. But because you are a designated Division 2 champion, you will be exempt from any time limits going in. That reminds me, I've not even said the time limits. To qualify Division 1 as well as being tested, you'll have to set in time trial a time under 1 minute 33 as well. It will be 1 minute 37, so you've got a 5-second deficit. If anybody, however, manages to be a 1 minute 31, you will not be eligible to take part into Division 2 because you're just too quick. Moving on, I remember one thing that I probably should have mentioned. With our start times being at 8 PM, that's not always going to be GMT, because at the minute we're in British Standard Time. We're in daylight savings. If we do go by the current calendar and we start in Australia on the 28th of August, daylight savings move back on come the race for October the 30th, which will be the last Friday of the month. That will be when we put our clocks an hour backwards, so that's when we'll be transitioning, and I believe that will be around the Austrian Grand Prix if this is going to be our schedule. So yeah, when that happens, we will remind people that times will be changing. I think that's almost everything. I do want to leave on a note that our current drivers' champion, I don't know if he's going to see this, I don't know if he's watching, but with our Norwegian counterparts, I can't express my apologies enough for the delay in your driver's trophy. Because of the pandemic, the information that's been given to me by multiple distributors is Norway is not accepting international orders. I've been trying all the way through lockdown. It doesn't help, even my local city now has been placed into lockdown, so the trophy does exist. We're not playing you about, we are having difficulty sending it up to Norway. So if anyone has a recommended distributor, logistics partner, if it's anything to get this trophy, he's been waiting nearly 6 months now for it. I feel so bad for him, but we are trying. We're not going to forget. I mean, it's sat about 5 feet away from me. I really want you to receive it. I think apart from that, that is everything. Anything else I may have missed, guys?
I haven't got any.
Lee, have you got anything to say? I think I've covered all bases. Right.
That's a no.
He's gone quiet. Yeah, if anyone does ask, follow us on Twitter at Nhrl Official. You'll start seeing a lot more activity from us in there. If you do have any questions, anything I might have missed, please ask us on there. Type in the YouTube comment section, or DM any of us or pretty much any of the names you see on screen, really. Let's see what's happening. Yeah, like I said, as of now, the sign-ups are open. We are now actively recruiting for the new F1 season. Provisional dates, that said, we do plan to start racing at the latest on the 28th of August. We can bring that date sooner as long as we get the numbers. Pre-season testing, the first test will be at Circuit of the Americas on the 14th of August, and we'll be doing a broadcasted pre-season testing at Spain on the 21st of August. Like I said, all these dates are provisional. We can bring them forwards as long as there is more interest. But throughout the whole of July now, we'll be recruiting, testing people. I just really hope we can get some people on board to be a part of it. Alright, DM us, please take part. I look forward to speaking to most of you. See ya.